Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk and show you about how we can connect the Okta environment with the Microsoft Cloud App Security or Defender for Cloud Apps, right? So what is the purpose of doing that and why we wanted to do that? Because there would be questions and why we should connect and how that is going to be helpful and how it is going to be adding values and improving our security posture, right? So definitely it is going to give you improved insights on the Okta admin activities, management of users, or the managed user activities, customer sign-ins, as well as provides threat detection for the anomalous behaviors and activities, right? So these are the things that this connector or connection between Okta environment as well as between the Defender for Cloud Apps is going to help us, right? Now, the connector that I'm going to show you, which is available from the Cloud App Security or Defender for Cloud Apps, right? And this connector is going to be very helpful for us to connect a bunch of different applications. And I'm going to show you all those applications which we can connect in real time with the Defender for Cloud Apps, right? Which is going to give us the complete visibility of the applications in applications along with the activities of users, activities of the applications and administrators and sign-ins and everything, right? Even it has the capability to identify compromised accounts and insider threats as well, right? So these are the capabilities which is going to help us to make sure the identities are safe, secure, as well as what are the activities that users are doing across the environment, right? And there are many other application-based or recommended actions for that each and every respective applications are available, and we can filter out those as well as we can uh, filter out or deploy the certain policies on those respective applications. For example, enabling multi-factor authentication, enabling session timeout for web browsers or web users, right? And enhance the password requirements as well, right? So there are different applications or different policies that we can enforce through, which is a part of SaaS security posture management, right? And all of that can be leveraged effectively and can be providing the right set of configurations that we can do, right? So without taking much time, I'm going to simply jump onto the screen and show you how we can do that. And there are other capabilities that we can do, which includes also built-in anomaly detection policies that we can enforce, right? And that policies can be enforced from the Cloud App Security or Defender for Cloud Apps, right? And we can make sure it is going to monitor all those activity from the anonymous IP addresses, right? And then infrequent country locations or movement, suspicious IP addresses, then impossible travels, multiple failed login attempts, ransomware detections, and unusual administrative activities as well, along with logon from risky IP addresses, right? So these kind of activities would also be part of this to control, and we can be able to deploy those policies. Those are the built-in policies in the cloud apps, and those are the templates which we can simply go ahead and deploy it across, right? So let's go ahead and look at few other topics where it gives us the automated governance controls as well, and then we can protect the Okta in real time with all of that, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Let me share my screen quickly here, and I'll show you how we can go ahead and do that. All right. So here you can see I'm on the Defender portal, but I'll go back from the home page and I'll show you, right? And perfect. So I'm on the home page, and to do that and to enable that connection between Okta, also I'm logged into the Okta instance, right? So here's the Okta instance I have, and I will go back to the home screen. I was just going through some of these steps, right? And then here's the Okta instance that I have, right? And from here, we have to take certain steps, and then we can make that connection happen between Okta and the cloud apps, right? So let's go back to the Defender portal, and on the home screen, we don't have any access there, but on the, let me minimize this. Okay, so we have actions to take from settings here, and from settings, we have steps under the cloud apps, right? So click on it, and now I'll talk and I'll show how we can create and connect the Okta, right? So there are a bunch of settings you can see, right? So all of these settings is relevant to the cloud apps, and this is something which we can integrate with many different capabilities, including user groups, API tokens, SIM agents, playbooks, and lot many things, right? So we'll talk more on that in the later videos, but this is something which I wanted to show you and talk about. So let's go ahead and scroll down. So from here, we can see that under connected apps, we have option here to connect using app connectors, right? And here I have already built a connection between Microsoft 365 and the cloud apps, right? And you can see it is connected now on this particular date. If I click on this particular application, it shows the detail. It shows protected accounts are 157, and files scanned for DLP in last 24 hours, it is 0. So currently it is not scanned at all, right? And it is up to date, and I can go ahead and test it as well. So here is the option. As it is connected, it is going to simply start the scanning for user data and all the activities, and then it should give us the results upon once the scanning is completed, right? So let it scan in the background. We'll meantime just go back, and I wanted to show you how we can add the connectors or connects. So here you see that there are a bunch of applications, including Amazon Web Services, Asana, Atlassian, Box, Cisco WebEx, and you can see all the different applications, right? All of these applications are the enterprise applications, right? And there are many other different applications apart from these. And there is a last button, suggest more apps. So if you have any application which is not part of this list or is not available currently, you can go ahead and put that here into suggestion list. And then you can fill the details, let's say application name you wanted to provide, and then give the application details about it, and then contact if you wanted them to be contacted, right? So I'm going to add Okta application. So here's the Okta. Let's say click on this Okta application here. I have added the instance name here, so that is why it is showing up here. So this is the instance name and how you can pick it up and how you can get it. So once you are logged into your Okta instance, this is your instance name. Now, why it is showing like this? It is showing because this is a Okta trial subscription or Okta trial instance or developer instance, I would say. And that is why it is generating a random number and name, so that it is going to simply create something like numbers, which we cannot give it, or we don't have any preference to give that, right? That is automatically generated. And if you are subscribing for your organization, definitely you can reach out to the respective Okta team, and they would generate an instance for your organization, and that is specific to your organization only, right? And you can customize it as per your needs, right? So that way it is going to be created and provided. So now here you can see that I have provided this instance name, and once I click next, it is going to validate it whether this instance is appropriate or is active or is correct one. So now how it is going to validate? It is going to validate with this platform, as cloud apps has the validation and capabilities with Okta and other platforms, and that is why it is going to validate. So now there is something baked into the backend infrastructure. We really don't know or how that Microsoft has built that one, but that is validating in the backend side, and we really don't have the visibility on it, right? So, so in the next step here, we have set security recommendations. So from here, we can simply enable it if in case we wanted to make sure the security recommendations should be popped up or shown up. So this is very uh, great option for us to see the recommendations in order to improve the security posture for Okta environment. And Defender for cloud apps is going to provide us all those recommendations in order to improve on all the security and everything together. Just go ahead and click next here. And on the last step here, we have option which is called as domain as well as the token ID or the token, right? So we need to provide all this or these two details where it says connect as Okta administrator to gain full visibility and control. So here we need to provide the domain of the Okta instance and the token ID or the token that we are going to generate, right? So let's jump on to the Okta portal, and I'm going to get the domain first, and then I'm going to generate a token as well. So we need to get the domain first, and then we should have a token generated as well. So let's go ahead and do that. I believe it is not here. Yeah, so from here we can generate the token. So under the tokens is the option for us, which is going to allow or ask us to create a token. So let's say I'll go with the name Cloud Apps Connection, and then I will select the appropriate API calls made with this token must originate from any API in any network zone defined in Okta in any of the following zones, not in any network zone defined in Okta or not in any of the following zones. So if we have very controlled network, controlled routing setup or enabled across the organization, then we have such options that we should go ahead and select. And if we don't have anything, then we can select generated for any IPs. So it could be from any location, and it can come from any IP addresses basically. And once we select that, click create this token. So this is going to create, and this is going to be one time visible. So I have copied it, and I'm going to go ahead back and paste it here. And once we are done, got it. So this is created for us and it is active, right? And we can see this is the token ID here, which says Okta API, right? So we found that, or we have generated it successfully. And next we have to get the domain of this Okta instance, right? So let me search for domain here. Okay, I think the domain is under the workflows, not it here. Workflows. So we need a domain that we need to put into the Okta, not Okta, in the cloud apps in order to validate. Let's say it should be brands. And I think this is the subdomain. So this is the custom domain. I think let me go ahead. Email provider. So let's go to email provider, and no, this is not. Let's click on others. Then scroll a bit down here. So customization is something which is a branding, right? Which we can Okay, so here's the domain, and so from here we can add custom domain settings for our organization within Okta. So this is from the Okta side, and let's go one step back and I'll click on this one. So this is the custom domain that I was adding before, and so this is the custom domain. So this is managed by Okta. So we would need to pick this up. So I'll simply copy it from here and go back to Okta and we can add it here. So once we add this domain here, we need to go ahead and click on submit button. Even here also it is going to check whether this domain is correct, appropriate. And here you can see that, let me not now. Perfect. So here it says great, Okta is connected. It means that we have provided appropriate details and it has validated it with token as well as the instance name for that respective domain, right? And it has validated everything together, right? So now that is connected, let's go ahead and click done button. And probably it is going to just take few minutes or seconds to show it up here. And then we can go ahead and do the other stuff of it, right? So let's go ahead and refresh this page here. Perfect. So here you can see that we have added this successfully, and it is currently there is nothing like to show up, right? So let's click on it and I'll simply you can see the dashboard for this application, right? So this is the complete dashboard where it is going to show activity chart, then active users, then user activities by top frequent locations, wherever users are logging in, uh, accessing applications, accounts, and everything. Under the info, it is going to show us that as well. So here you can see that one connected instance and all the details about this instance, including legal and then SOC and compliance, along with the security and general information. And under the account, let's see what it is going to show us. So we have a bunch of filters for each of different users, right? And then we can go ahead and filter out. Let's say I wanted to find something for this account, or maybe simply I'll find this and for this account. And currently it is not showing anything because probably it is going to take some time to identify all those activities and then capture it and show up here. Affiliation for internal and external. If you wanted to filter out, then type whether it is user or account or whatever it is, and then groups, right? So wherever this user is a group or part of, and under the applications, we can see applications, Defender for cloud apps, there are 27 users and there are 2 external users, right? And then there's advanced filter as well that we can filter out or different by running these different queries. Then activity logs, so all that can be shown up here, and new policy from search. So we can create a brand new policy, and that policy is going to be doing whatever we are trying to. Let's say we wanted to see access level changes on teams, potential ransomware activities, then log on from risky IP addresses, as I was talking on different capabilities, right? So all these are the activities which we can monitor and see by creating this activity policy, right? So this is within the cloud application, right? We don't have to move to any different application, right? This is something which we can do from cloud application itself. And then we have some of the categories basis on the templates also, or if you wanted to change something out of these categories, be it access control, sharing, the cloud discovery, DLP, compliance, threat detection, privileged accounts, configuration controls, right? And at last, we have alerts. So we can see all those alerts here as well, including status open, closed, or the categories basis on the different categories that we wanted to filter out with the severity, then select different user accounts and the policy, of course, as well, right? And then we have certain bulk actions that we can take, and then we can go ahead and take the appropriate actions, right? So, yep, that is how we can go ahead and integrate the third-party applications with cloud apps and get the visibility, and we can improve on the security posture as well, right? So now here it says connect not recent. That means there's no recent sync status because this is going to synchronize after some time, and it is going to give that results between Okta and the cloud application. And once that is synchronized successfully, it should probably show all the details from Okta to the cloud apps or Defender for cloud apps, right? And then it is going to give us the complete details. So yeah, that is what I wanted to show you and talk about, right? And hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed this experience, and let me know if you have done this before, if you have worked on any of such scenarios or any of the integrations between cloud apps, security, or Defender for cloud apps and any other third-party applications, right? As I showed here, we have a bunch of applications that we can integrate with. And let me know if you have any questions on any of the applications which are already available. And if you want me to bring any other integrations with cloud applications, and I would be happy to bring it on here, right? So, yep, that's what I wanted to show you and talk about in this video. Do let me know if you have any questions, any doubts, anything that you wanted to ask. And yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, as that's going to motivate for other videos. And I'm going to bring more videos, which is going to be very helpful for you to learn and explore more things around Microsoft ecosystem, basically. Right? Yeah. So yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.